What's up, guys? We are doing a quick Q&A, Sunday Q&A, acoustic, and a little bit of beer on the patio. So real quick, I always like to support local business. It's something my wife and I both do. So this is a local brewery, Tampa Bay Brewing Company, based out of Ybor City. This is their Old Elephant Foot IPA beer. Really good beer. So that's like whenever Publix has it, I'm going to buy a 4-pack and bring it home. So thank you guys for joining. Just have a little chat today, guys. Logify, what's up, dude? First on. Acoustic, dude, I haven't seen you in a little while, man. Good to see you on here. I know Acoustic, if I remember correctly, you're down in the Sarasota area, so that's really cool, man. Yeah, dude, thank you. 73,000, almost 73,000 subs. And I don't, guys, I don't want vanity metrics, but I would really like to hit 100,000 subs by the end of this year, and I think that can happen. Just more opportunities come up with, more subs. But I want the right, the right type of subscribers as well. So, you guys are the right type of subscribers, so I appreciate you guys, I really do. So people that are just really passionate about, guitar and, about life in general, guys, because I branch outside of the guitar realm, and, but anyway, so thank you so much for supporting the channel here. Derek, what's up, dude? From Canada, cool, man. Landon never noticed I'm picking with a pick in between my thumb and middle finger. Dude, that's a good question. I get asked this quite often. I pick like this here. I've got two fingers right there on one side, and my thumb's on the other side. So this is kind of, I don't know if you guys can see this that well or not, but yeah, that's it. And I've got my other fingers kind of crowded around here. But yeah, that's just how I hold my pick, man. I've never really paid attention to holding my pick that way. But when people ask me about it, I'm like, well, let me figure this out. I don't know how I hold my pick. Let me think about this for a second. So, but yeah, that's how I've done it. I guess from the beginning. I really don't know how I started out, to be honest with you. And yeah, Kenneth, what's up, dude? Yeah, I guess James Hetfield, I didn't know how he held his pick. To be honest, guys, I've never really dug that deep into other guitar players to learn. Let me move the camera in a little closer so you guys can see when I'm playing here. I never really dug that deep into how, like, the details of how people play, because I would see how a guitar player plays when I first started out. I'm like, okay, well, they do this, they do that, but it didn't work for me. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to worry about how many people play, or not how many people, but how other guitar players play. I'm just going to play what feels most comfortable to me, and that's what I encourage all you guys to do as well. Sue, what's up in Texas? I bet it's hot in Texas, yeah. So, like, I'm in Florida, Central Florida, the Tampa Bay area. It's been, like, brutally hot here, but today's weird, man. Today, my in-laws just came over. My father-in-law, him and I were in the pool earlier. This is why I'm in my pool attire here. My Chang, this is one of the Thai beers. You guys know my wife is Thai, so I'm very ingrained in the culture. This is one of the Thai beers, Chang. So we got the tank top. He had the same tank top on. But yeah, Zumatos, yeah. So I guess the way a lot of people, I've heard some people hold their picks with just two fingers. I have to have these other two. I've got to have like their first finger and thumb. I've got to have two fingers on that side. Gospel Mark, what's up, dude? So you got your 3-hour gig last night. Awesome. Yeah, I played a 3-hour gig too, man. I had a gig Friday night. You guys know I play acoustic shows on the side, and that's become such a big part of my life, and it's a cool part of life. I'm actually planning to back off the live acoustic solo gigs. Well, they say if you want to hear God laugh at you, make plans, right? I plan to back off the live acoustic solo gigs just a little bit next year, 2024. Not entirely, obviously, but there's probably, you know, 4 or 5 places that I'll want to keep, but I really want to focus on a really big music project that I've been wanting to put out for a long time now. You know, I'm working on my album, guys, Overcometh. It's coming along quite well. I just finished lyrics today for the last song. I'm like, yes, finally, man, this is getting done. So I'm really excited to let you guys hear that. By the way, guys, hey, if you have any questions, please leave those in the comments. That's primarily why I do these lives. I try to go on here and there. I have a Sunday gig every other Sunday, so I try to be on live on YouTube here every other Sunday. I don't have the gig. There's a place in this place called Apollo Beach called Finn's Dockside that I play at. Really cool place. My beer can's on the way here, anyway, move that over there. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, please leave those in the comments. How are you guys doing, man? How was the weekend? Mark, I know you had some gigs this week. You had a gig this weekend, so that's awesome to hear that. But you know, and you just asked a question about the Line 6. So guys, I've been using my Pod Go, my Line 6 Pod Go for my live acoustic solo gigs, and I'll tell you what's going on with that. The reason why though is, for one, I've got a really nice acoustic patch in there. Of course, I'm not playing through it right now, but really cool acoustic patch. And in between, like, I shouldn't say in between, but during a song, what I'll do is I'll use a looper to loop an acoustic rhythm, and then I'll place a lead over it. Well, sometimes that lead will be on electric, so I'll remove my wireless from the acoustic, put it down, pick up my electric, plug in the wireless, and change the Podgo patch to an electric guitar patch that I use to for my leads, which is more like a Marshall sound. So it's really cool. Problem I've had with my Line 6 Podgo, and I've been using this for like about 4 years now. On one particular place that I play, it's a little bit hotter. It's out in Bradenton, Florida. It's a winery called Fiorelli Winery. Really cool place. But the Podgo has been shorting out on me a little bit on that last hour. So I've had to unplug my acoustic from the Podgo, plug my acoustic directly into the board, which I can still use my looper and all that good stuff. But anyway, so I'm really, man, I'm really just trying to figure out what I want to do. Derek, you asked a good question in regards to this, or maybe it's probably in regards to metal, but just in general, Derek's asking what effects do I have a large collection of pedals. I don't, dude. I don't have hardly any pedals. I've got a noise gate, and I've got a MXR Smart Gate noise gate, and I have an MXR Classic Distortion, which I use as an overdrive. What I'm using lately, though, you guys have seen a few videos on the Black Star Amp 3 on my channel. If you haven't, go back and check those out. I just got sponsored by Black Star for like a one-time, just a one-time sponsorship. I don't know. I hope that it leads into something more, because it would be awesome. But I got the unit, and of course we negotiated some other things, because I really don't want free gear. Guys, people try to send me free gear all the time, and I'm like, no, I just, you know, if it's not something that I want, and there has to be some monetary reward. It can't be just the gear. But in any case, if you guys ever want me to talk about sponsorships and kind of how I go about getting them, because I've gotten 2 major sponsorships this year, I'm happy to share that with you. Let me know. But in any case, that's what I've been using, just the Black Star with a noise gate and an overdrive pedal. I do like delay. Now the Amp 3 has built-in reverb, so I've got my reverb covered, but I do like some delay, and what I've been doing is using the delay plug-in in my DAW in my studio. So that suffices. So that's pretty much what I'm using right now. Zeramato, what's up, dude? So which bands am I listening to these days? Which bands have inspired me to make my own music? That's a great question. I love the last part of your question, which bands have inspired you to create your own music, because that's a very good question. I'm all about you guys creating your own sound, your own riffs, but you know, I haven't been really listening to a lot of new bands. I've been listening to a lot of Delane and Nightwish, because I love those bands. A lot of European metal, a lot of Sonata Arctica. What else? I have been listening to a band called Must Not Kill. So you guys may have seen me post on the YouTube comment section, or YouTube, what's it called, the community section, and my Facebook. If you go to Jason Stallworth Facebook, I'm sorry, Jason Stallworth Music on Facebook. If you go into Facebook, type in Jason Stallworth Music. Don't do my personal profile because I don't use it, but if you type in Jason Stallworth Music, I post a lot of stuff there, and also just Jason Stallworth on Instagram. But you guys might have seen my post where Tuesday night on my YouTube channel, I've got a premiere coming up with the guitar player from Must Not Kill, Brad Mader. And he is a professional musician. He's been touring like since his teens. I'm very jealous of him, but he was in the studio a couple of nights ago. So I've got that premiering on Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Him and I will both be on. I'll be on my YouTube channel. We'll be able to chat during the premiere. It's about 40-something minutes long, guys. It's like 43 minutes long. He has a lot of just like really cool, really cool things to share. So I'm excited about this. But he's such a cool dude. But yeah, Brad Mader from Must Not Kill, he's going to be on the channel. But I haven't really been listening to a lot of newer stuff, man. One new band that I've listened to, Zermato, I'll tell you, is, and man, I'm trying to remember the name of them. The Fall of Me. They're called The Fall of Me. Really cool band, and I discovered them from my friend's radio station. A good friend of mine, Scott Neumeister, he's a full-time author. He's a really close friend of mine now, and he hosts a show on progrock.com. He hosts a metal prog show on Mondays at 11 Eastern Standard Time, 11 to 1, or if you're on Central, they advertise as Central Time, 10 to 12 Central Time. So every Monday, I schedule like my administrative type work for what I do here. Oh, that's not good. My head stuck at the chair here, you can move that. But so I'm discovering some new bands through his show. So progrock.com, if you go listen 10 to 12 Central Time, if you're on Eastern Time, my time is 11 to 1. His name is Scott Neumeister. He goes under DJ Scott Loki on the station. So log into that. They have a Discord and all that good stuff. Pretty cool. Time Prophet, what's up, dude? Hey, man. I don't know who Scott Kurtz is, man. I've never heard of him, dude. Yeah, Derek, I don't really talk about pedals that much, dude, because I just don't use a lot, man. I don't use a lot of effects and stuff like that. Like I said, I want a really good distortion sound, and a lot of times you get that through the amp plus like an OD pedal just to tighten things up. And as far as leads go, I just want a little delay on that. Now, the album that I've been working on that is in its end stages now, final stages, I do have some ambient reverb that I like to use. I usually have reverb, a little bit of reverb on at all times. I just like the way, I just like what that gives the guitar. It just brings it to life a little bit. You don't want too much because playing fast rhythms, you know, if I were to play something like, if I had a lot of reverb on that, it would sound really muddy. You know, which is the beauty of acoustic playing, guys, will keep you honest. You know, if you're muddy, man, like if I can't tap on it, but my sweeps, if I'm muddy on those, the acoustic will let me know because it does not like you. It's very raw. So anyway, but yeah, I don't like to use. I like to keep things simple just because I'm sort of lazy, to be honest with you. Some big birds coming in, guys. I don't know if you guys can see the birds over here. We got some huge blue jays in the feeder back there. But I don't like to use a lot of stuff. To me, the way I look at guitar playing, and guys, I'm not saying you shouldn't use a lot of effects. If that's your genre, you should. I'll tell you one of my favorite bands in a second that does use a lot of effects. But to me, the more you have, it's the more that can go wrong. And it's the more I have to worry about on stage. And I like to really focus on the performance as much as I can. Like even playing live acoustic solo gigs, you know, I use a looper, so I'll loop a rhythm, you know, and I'll place the lead over it. Well, that's a decent amount of equipment I have to have for that, but I don't do any like super fancy looping because as simple as I can keep it, the better for me, you know, so I can focus more on the performance and just doing the best I can in that regard. So again, that's not for everybody, but there are a lot of bands that seem to use a lot of effects like in the guitars. Like one band I love that has this really spacey guitar sound is the Birthday Massacre. Man, I could listen to some of their tunes all day. Zermato says we're about the same age. Yeah, dude, I just turned 48 in May, man, so I'm kind of climbing up there. had, must not kill guitars, I think, and he won't mind me saying this, he's like 54, so we're chatting about back in the days how recording was done and gear and just, the massive changes from then to now, it's very different now. Timothy Rich, just look forward to your new stuff. Masterpiece, give me the chills, dude. Thank you, guys. Every one of you who have supported my albums, I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me because, when you put yourself out there, whether it's a solo album or the band, you always, it's a big thing. It's a big deal. So the fact that you guys listen to it and support it, I really appreciate that. Yeah, latest album, man. It's time for a new one. Masterpiece was released in 2019. And that was a bit ago. So 2023, I think in August we will have Overcome It, my new album. And I don't want to release an album like every year just to release an album, but I do want to release more frequently, at least every 2 years. I probably will release something every year in some capacity because there are other music projects I'm working on, some with other people that I just. My my life goal for me is to get as much music out there, that I've written or co-written as I possibly can. I've done a few really cool projects with some other musicians. Some of that's not even metal, so really just as excited about that as well. I was about to know how I got involved in music, heard first records. We will cover that, dude. We will definitely cover that. And you're in Norway, man. That's cool. So your region, like Norway and Finland, and then where I'm at in Tampa Bay, these were like your area and my area here were like the death metal capitals of the world in the 80s. Really cool. Dean, what's up, dude? Dean's on. Time Prophet, you're not 54, dude. I thought you were like 34. Stop telling stories on YouTube, man. Time Prophet has been around for a while. Not around, but you've been on my channel for a while. And I appreciate all the stuff you've added over the years, dude. Thank you. Bashmaster, what's up? Bashmaster, you're telling stories on YouTube as well. You're not 55, you're like 35, man. Come on, guys. Falling in Reverse, I'll have to check that out. Dean's going to be 45 July, yeah. Hey, we're all up here, guys. Time Prophet, I like playing acoustic just as much as electric, man. I love coming out here and just jamming on acoustic. It's just, I don't know. I don't find it more difficult. It's different, yeah. But, I mean, like, I play acoustic live. I play these live acoustic shows like 2 or 3 times a week. So, I think acoustic, someone mentioned up here, Timothy, that it's a good way to build your technique. Yeah, I mean, acoustic is like it's almost like playing bass. Have you ever, those of you who have a bass guitar, have you ever picked up your bass and played bass or recorded some bass tracks? Then you go back to your electric, you're flying, like, whoa, man, what just happened, So it's just kind of like, acoustic's like that too. If you play acoustic for a while and then go back to your electric, it's like, man, you're flying all over the place. So, but guys, I don't really look at it in that sense. I mean, I'm not really trying to shred on acoustic, even though I do. I like a lot of open chords. I think the acoustic's just a beautiful instrument. Like, as much as I love metal, and I love metal, if someone said, Jason, you have to play acoustic for the rest of your life, don't touch an electric again or you'll die, I would be okay with that. So, you miss the electric, but, it's kind of a far out scenario there. Hopefully it doesn't happen. Bashmaster, vocal coach help. I've been doing some, not really lessons, but just doing the vocal exercises. Elizabeth Deduce, she's got the course on metalmastermind.com called Metal Vocal Virtuoso. And I've gone through the entire course. What I find helpful though, and I follow her, of course, because she's part of my platform, Metal Mastermind. By the way, guys, my guitar courses, all my guitar courses, which once I finish the album, I'm going to be coming out with a third guitar course for leads. That's on metalmastermind.com. So check that out if you haven't checked it out yet. And we got some other courses on there as well. But the vocal more so than any coaching, the exercise, the daily exercises, have helped me tremendously. I follow her, and I do some of Ken Tamplin's exercises as well. And what I do is I just try to at least, I'll say every day, but at least 6 days a week, I do some sort of vocal exercises, and probably double down on that on the days I have gigs. So, Whiskey Mike is, guys, you guys are telling so many stories about your age, man. Whiskey Mike, he's like 33, and he says he's 43. Come on, guys. I'm trying to bring us down in age a little bit. Whiskey Mike, what's up, man? Mike's Garage, he's in Detroit. Cool, man. Cool. I've never been to Detroit before, dude. Vincent, you're in Brooksville, man. You're just up the road, man. You're not that far from me at all. You know, Vincent, if you look on, if you go to jasonstallworth.com, I've got my live solo gig. I mean, Brooksville is still kind of a hike, but if you're ever in Tampa, I play acoustic shows around town every weekend almost, man. So, what am I at next? I'm hosting open mic at Bootleggers Brewing this Wednesday. Thursday night I'll be at a cool place called the Blind Goat. Actually, I have a Friday and Saturday off, which is crazy, and then Sunday I'm at Fenn's Dockside this time next week, so that's in Apollo Beach. But Zermato started out as a bass player. Cool. I love venturing out to other instruments, you know. Time Prophet says your voice fits in. Yeah, your voice does fit in certain keys, and guys, I'm like as far as vocals go, I probably won't sing any tonight on camera. My voice, I've sang the past 2 nights in a row. But as far as vocals go, I'm really a big fan of developing, just like guitar. I tell you guys this all the time. I'm a really big fan of developing your own style, not chasing someone else's, especially with vocals. Those of you who sing, it can be discouraging if you allow it to be. Like you hear, like I'm not Sebastian Bach. Do I wish I had his voice? I mean, a part of me does, but at the same time, if I did, well, I would have his voice and not mine, you know, and sometimes my range limitation frustrates me. I'll be honest with you guys, it does. But I'm learning to just really embrace where I'm at. I mean, I can kind of get up there in the range, but I can't go, I'm not like a Steve Perry, right? So I do have those limitations, and people say, well, you shouldn't think of it as limitations, but I think of it more as my voice sounds really nice in a certain range, and if I keep it in that range, yeah, you can increase a little bit here and there, but you know, go with your natural voice. Keep continuing to practice and get better, just like guitar, you know. But I really believe that you have to focus on developing your own style and sound. I'm a firm believer in that, man, because I think so many singers and guitar players are like, well, I gotta have this tone, or my voice has got to be this, and you just end up sounding like someone else. Or I've got friends that can sing really, really well and really, really high, but they're always trying to push it to that next level in the highness, and it's like, ah, man, I can just tell your voice is about to crack. Just drop it down some, you know, it's gonna sound so much better. But people are obsessed with singing high notes, and I get it, you know. But just embrace where you're at, you know, and work on that, and keep practicing. But all that said, guys, I don't mean to elaborate on this so much, but all that said, daily vocal exercises, just going over just basic triads and stuff like that, and skills with your voice, man, especially before a gig. I will not play a show without going through a good 15-20 minutes of vocal exercises. It won't happen. I must do that. So, thank you, Vincent. Thank you for checking it out. Timothy Richards, his dad was a bluegrass picker. Bluegrass is almost like metal, dude, because, man, I've seen some phenomenal bluegrass pickers. Rockin' Dave Byron, what's up, dude? Fort Myers, that's right, man. I forget you down south, dude. Just kind of around the corner, sort of. Yeah, gigging a lot these days, man. Mark got tired of lugging around gear, finally invested in a cart. Yeah, guys, I got a cart. My friend, our friend RJ, he didn't really give it to us, but might as well have. He let us borrow a cart. That thing has come in so handy for lugging my gear to my shows. Oh my God. Instead of making like 5 trips, most of the time I only make 1, maybe 2, you know, but it's come in so handy. Timothy's got some family in Lakeland. Yeah, I play at one place in Lakeland called the Brass Tap. It's a little craft beer place. Pretty cool. Rockin' Dave, you're gonna be 60, dude? I was about to say, man, right? I mean, Dave, I know you lift too, if I'm not mistaken, man. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I think the lifting and the music keeps you young, dude. Abe 16 discovering the channel like a year ago. Thank you for being on there, Abe. Thank you, man. Yeah, guys, you got to find your own voice, create your own sound. If you're trying to chase what someone else sounds like, or I think as long as you're trying your best and doing the best you can, and making sure that that you're there, that you're singing on key, I think is the biggest thing for people. Don't worry about so much how high you can sing. People get obsessed with that. So it's almost like fast playing. Guys, I love to shred. You guys know that. And I love it. But sometimes maybe something like this, kind of some slow notes. I just kind of, pulling that out of nowhere. Just some slower stuff in between, some melodies, You can throw some fast little things in there in between. But, make sure you get some melodies in there as well. But what I'm saying is, guys, don't worry so much about, I can't play as fast as I want to right now. Who cares at the end of the day? It's not, you can make good music without that. I'm not saying don't strive for it, just like singing high and getting your range a little bit better than where it's at, or at least getting more comfortable where you can go from what's called your chest voice to your head voice, and getting more comfortable with that. Work on that stuff, but don't, try not to over obsess with, well, I gotta sing these high notes, because it just, I don't know, you start getting to a point where you're not really yourself, you're trying to sound like someone else. So I want to throw that out there. Dave Byron says that's one of his biggest fears, is singing. And man, I just say, get, what I say, Dave, and you to everybody is, have some songs that you can nail very comfortably in your range. And guys, listen, I sing all 80s. That's my forte. Let's pull this out. I have not warmed up my voice. This might not sound good, so forgive me. What's the song I do? How's it go?
I just died in your arms tonight. Must have been something you said. I just died in your arms tonight.
There's that. There's
I can't believe the things that's happened to me. I guess that I should see a long time ago.
So the cutting crew, the outfield, guys, I can't sing like those guys can. They're in I'm in the key of A, F sharp minor for the first one, the cutting crew song, the key of A after that. I think they're in the key of whatever else, D or something like that. So what I'm saying is if there are songs you want to do but you can't do them, then transpose them. I transpose most of the songs I do, right? If a song's in D, well, I might play that in A. Right?
Josie's on a vacation far away. Come around and talk it over.
So if I was in D,
Josie's on a vacation far away.
I'm not doing that live, okay? I can probably pull it off if I try really hard, but no. So, and I demonstrate that to you guys, kind of put myself out there for you guys, because you can always transpose a song. I'm a big believer in doing that. Transpose it, man, to a key you're comfortable in, and just nail it. And sometimes you can skip the bridge, do something else instead. Make it your own, guys. the last thing I want to hear is someone sing the song and play it exactly like the album. Well, if I'm going to listen to that, I'll just pop in the album, right? I don't really care to see. I don't really care to see another, hear another artist play the song exactly like it's played. I want to hear your version of that. So, Vincent, dude, the Brass Mug. Yes, I was at the Brass Mug last Friday night. So, a good friend of mine, Cliff, he works at Replay Guitar Exchange. He's also the guitar player in the band called Quasi Mojo. And saw his band play last week. So you guys see my videos when I'm in the guitar store. It's called Replay Guitar Exchange in Tampa. I think the last one I put out, I was playing the Kirk Hammett Les Paul, which I'm not a Les Paul fan, but I was pretty impressed with this Les Paul. I'm not buying it because it's like $3 grand, and there's no way I'm spending $3 grand on a Les Paul, or any guitar. But I went and saw Quasi Mojo, his band play last Friday night, last week. So that was real cool. Brass Mug is cool, man. Gospel Mark, never have any feedback with my performances, except my Martin guitar. The Martin guitar will feedback, dude. I don't know, something about that guitar. It's just got a lot of just beefy bottom into it, and sometimes it won't feedback while I'm playing, but if I were to sit it down and just leave it, and then, so I always just kill the sound, kill that channel. Other than that, I never have any problems feeding back, Dave, you can do this, dude. Thank you, Dave. But Rockin' Dave Byron, you've got it in you. Like I know you do. So, man, just start building up to that. Again, just start out with 3 to 5 songs. Transpose them in a key you're comfortable with. Just figure them out. Pick some easy 3 or 4 chord songs, man. Pick pick some CCR or something like that, dude, and transpose it to a comfortable key. And get to where you can sing it in your comfortable key, and you can just nail it. Because you can nail stuff in your comfortable key. If you try to go outside of that, it might not sound so great, right? But if you get in your comfortable range, your comfortable key, and you will nail it, and you can make something just sound so beautiful, and it's going to be your own. So I encourage you to start doing that, man. Timmy, there's just take another sip of beer. Timothy, I think I shall. Cheers, guys. As we say in Thai, 20 gallon a cup, or Turkish shatafe. Or German, Prost. Actually, guys, I will be in Germany for one day in November. I don't know if anybody's in Germany on here right now, but let me know if you are. If anyone's in Germany, lives in Germany or Thailand, let me know in the comments, please, because we're going to be there in November. So I plan to do some cool things. Zeramato, what do you think of AI music and the meaning surrounding AI? I'm not really too worried about AI in our genre of music, guys. In rock and roll and heavy metal, I don't think we have anything to worry about in that regard. Only because, I don't know. It's just one of those things. Rock and roll and heavy metal, we are musicians, and I know we've succumbed to some things like drum machines and auto-tune, which I'm not. Guys, you'll probably, I don't want to say never, because don't do that, because you'll find yourself doing it if you say never, but you'll probably never hear me put auto-tune on my voice. And I'm not the greatest singer in the world. I acknowledge that, but I'm not going to use auto-tune. I did use drum programming for a couple of my heavy metal workout series, but like the last album I did with vocals, Masterpiece, Cameron Fleury played the drums. He also recorded drums for this upcoming album. So I'm not worried about AI. As far as AI and like the pop music and the country and the rap and all that, yeah, we'll let those people worry about that stuff. And for rock and roll and heavy metal, or people who actually play their instruments, I'm not too worried about it, man. I'm not too worried about it. I think that guys, I'll be honest with you, if I found out that a good band I liked used AI, I just won't support them. Sorry. I'm going to support the people playing real music, and that'll be pretty easy to find out. So that's my thoughts on that, And I'm not against AI. AI is, what I think we have to realize in this world is that things are going to progress whether we like it or not, whether we agree with it or not, things will progress. Look, there was a time when people wanted to keep writing checks and didn't want to use debit cards because they were evil, but now kind of those are out of the question, where we're just holding our card up to the machine or using apps these days. So technology is always going to progress forward, right? Yeah, I need to learn a little bit about AI so I know what I'm just what's out there. I like to kind of be in the know, not go down the rabbit hole, but sort of be in the know a little bit, if that makes sense, you know. Anyway, so Time Prophet, Ain't No Sunshine. Yeah, that's a bluesy one, man. You gotta have some bluesy ones on that. Mark, when I'm looping solos at my cover gigs, do I do them in the same spot as a song, or do you move them? Mark, to be honest with you, when I loop, dude, I never know when I'm gonna loop. I feel it, and I kind of like, you know, I take that back. There are certain songs like I do a cover of Iron Maiden. You know, what I'll do is I'll just play 2 chords. I like to make the loop kind of short, so I'll go dun, 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 dun. And so that'll loop. I'll click the button, that'll loop, and I'll do. And of course, I'll add my own flavor to it. I never play stuff exactly like the band plays it, but so I know when I do that song, I'm gonna loop. But a lot of times, like I played at a winery Friday night, and instead of outdoors on the patio, we were inside. It's like brutally hot right now in Florida, guys. It's like you will melt, man. But in any case, I was inside, and you know the crowd, the tip jar, you know, proved that hey, people like music, but the crowd they were just doing their own thing, guys. You know, the thing about, and we're talking about live acoustic solo gigs. You know, it's different if you're in a band and like you're going there, hey, Jason Starr is playing, you know, his music. They're coming to see you, but playing live acoustic solo gigs, you know, getting paid to do that at places, a little bit different. You know, sometimes people, and this is where you have to read the crowd, guys. Sometimes people just want to come in and sit and have a conversation. They enjoy your music, but your background music, and you just have to learn to accept that. You know, so I learned that early on, so it doesn't bother me. You know what I mean? It doesn't bother me because I'll still get people, I'll still see people singing along out there, but I really try to read the crowd in regards to when I'm gonna do looping. I love to do instrumentals. Sometimes I'll just pick a rhythm. Like I'll pick the breakdown in the Poison song, Every Rose Has Its Thorn, that E minor. Loop, and that will play over, and I'll just. And I'll do something like that, and then I'll stop playing lead, and my loop is still going, and I'll reach over and I'll grab my beer, and I'll look at somebody and smiles like, this is why I loop, so I can have a beer and play music at the same time. I'm halfway joking, but you know, it's just, you just gotta read the crowd, you know. You know, sometimes I do the solo in the beginning, sometimes I do it in the middle, sometimes at the end. There's no rhyme or reason. It's just really, I kind of play music, I guess very unorthodox, if you want to say that. Kind of like I train at the gym. Like I know what body part I'm doing that day, but I'm really going off instinct as to what I need to do. And I think over the years, you just learn to listen to your intuition, and you go with that. And I'm still learning to do this. I'm learning to fly. Tom Petty, I do that song too. But no, I'm really learning to listen to my intuition, and when that intuition says, okay, play an instrumental, man, just play an instrumental for 2 or 3 minutes. Instead of questioning that, because you know, a lot of times like, well, wait a minute, they might not want that. They may get, nope, do not question yourself, just do it, you know. If my intuition says, you know what, Jason, don't go heavy today, man, your body, you can train hard, but don't go heavy, hit more reps, I do that. Some days my body says, you know what, we can go a little heavier on this exercise. Okay, don't question your intuition. Just because once you start questioning yourself, you just go down this rabbit hole and you never get the answer that you want. So that's kind of my, I don't like to have a schedule. I don't like to have, although I do have some schedule to some extent. I just don't like to have stuff so rigid, man. I love to live life a little spontaneous, but guys, this is important, but also be disciplined in what I do. I'm not some bodybuilder, but I train 6 days a week. I'm going to be in the gym 5 days a week. Like I if I'm not in the gym 5 days a week, I'm dying. Something's really wrong, guys. So, but I'll try to be there 6 days a week. You know what I mean? So, you know, stay consistent with what you do, but trust your intuition at the same time. Yeah, Time Prophet, you bring up a good point, dude. If they didn't like your music, they wouldn't accept it as background music. Meaning, people, listen, guys. I hate to say this. I have played at gigs where they said we've had prior musicians that people actually were getting up and leaving because the musician was so bad. One problem, I'm gonna save you guys a lot of heartache. One problem I see with live musicians, especially playing these solo gigs, is that people try to be too loud. They're like, well, the crowd's not into it, so I'm gonna make them be into it. Guys, that's a no-no. Do not do that. Now, if it's your music, if you're playing your music in a band, right, and they're coming to see, you know, they're coming to see Jason Stallworth, or I see Brian Ray. If they're going to see Brian Ray's on music. He's on here, guys. Good friend of mine. I got his telly. So never gonna get back. But that's a different story. But when you're playing at a gig, and even Brian will tell you, he just joined in, guys. What's up, Brian Ray Music? Guys, follow Brian Ray Music. I want Brian Ray Music to get more stuff on his YouTube channel because he needs to put some stuff out there. He's got a lot of value to give you guys. Yeah, he's like, why don't you invite me over for beers, man? This is so random, dude. Actually, we had my in-laws over earlier for a little bit, and I didn't. Was that a cat, babe? A kitty cat just came outside. Big kitty. You guys probably can't see him. But anyway, but even Brian will tell you, there's some days the crowd's really into it, you know, and there's other times where you just like, hey, I'm background music. They're enjoying the music, but they also just want to have a conversation at the table that they came to have a conversation with the people they came to have a conversation with, you know. So you have to really read the crowd in that regard, and in the long run, you'll do way better. You'll get tipped more, and you know, I'm always amazed. I'm always amazed to meet all the cool people. I got to meet someone from Germany last night. My wife and I got to meet a German dude last night. We were talking. He's like, man, no more 80s. And I'm like, dude, that's all I play. He's like, play some 60s and 70s. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know. He's like, you know, I'm like, I don't know any new music. If that's, you know, it's like, we're good. He was joking with me. But anyway, I always get to meet such cool people when we're playing out like that. So, anyway, yeah. Yeah, Ross, you bring up a point. Play standing up, dude. Play standing up for sure. I'll tell you, man, I feel weird. I don't sit and play, I mean, out here, yeah, I sit and play acoustic, you know. But when I'm playing, I have a hard time. I don't know if I'd be able to sit down and play anymore because I'm so used to playing standing. So I just do that, you know. And actually, it's Time Prophet. What's busking on the street mean, dude? I'm sorry, man. I don't. Time Prophet's from the younger generation. What's busking mean? The chosen one. Thank you, dude. Thank you. Dean, AI could be useful in writing to help with composing songs. I mean, it's possible, dude. You know, like Dean. You know, it's funny. I'll say this real quick. It's funny. Like when I read your comment, you know, Dean says I think AI could be a useful writing tool. At first, I want to say, well, no, don't use that. That's gonna. But I had to back myself up. Had to correct myself before I said anything because I use a thesaurus for songwriting ideas, right? So, I mean, it's really not much different from AI, guys. You know, if I go and look at a word like darkness, what's the synonym for darkness? Guys, I just finished writing the lyrics for the last song of my album today, and I was sitting there, you know, looking at the thesaurus, and you know, I mean, that's AI in a sense. I'm looking for help, right? So, you know, Timothy says I need a tan. Timothy, we'll have a conversation about skin cancer on another day, dude. I do not need a tan. I'm very comfortable in my own skin. Looking back at my video, I had a skin cancer scare many years ago. This is German English, man, so love it or leave it, dude. I'm kidding, but no. And when I'm outside mowing the lawn out here, we kayak quite often, so I've got my Florida man hat, guys. I wear this when I'm outside. So, yeah, Jason's gone country. This is not a country hat. This is more like a, I don't know, farmer hat, I guess. Anyway, Yeah. I do get some vitamin D from the sun, man, but I don't stay out in too long, you know. Yeah, Mark, get out there and do some solos, man. I mean, duos are fun too, dude. Yeah, duos are fun as well, man. It's always better to get in trouble with a friend instead of by yourself, right? Miss Emily, Emily, I need to just call you out real quick and say thank you so much for all the support. Emily here is a big part of Metal Mastermind. That's where my guitar courses are at, guys. A lot of you probably have my guitar courses. You have Metal Guitar Apprentice if you're starting out or revisiting basics, or you have Metal Riff Master. But they're on metalmastermind.com, and Emily is part. She's part of that, and she's one of the moderators in our Discord. So Emily, I just want to say thank you. You know, here with everyone, you've been a very vital part of that. So really appreciate that. I'm catching up here, guys. Hayden, what's up, dude? Left-handed Schecter, man. Awesome, dude. Hayden, I have guitar courses. I'd love to be a teacher, man. I don't teach one-on-one, but I do have guitar courses on metalmastermind.com, so check out that website, man. Vincent, what I recommend between either your Wednesday or Thursday shows this week? I see Wednesday is open mic. Yeah, so Vincent, so open mic, I'm just hosting that. This is Bootleggers Brewing, and that's not really that's not my show. I kind of do that for fun, man. It's I get to meet some cool musicians, and I know the owners of the brewery quite well, and the folks that work there. So I mean, they throw me a little change or whatever, but I just do that for fun. That's something I do like twice a month. But guys, I think that, you know, if you're looking to play out, I think that open mic is a wonderful way to get started because it gets you used to singing in front of people. And guys, if you can throw up 3 or 4 songs in front of someone and nail it, well, there's no reason why you can't, you know, do 25 songs for a 3-hour show, right? You can do that, and it's just a good start. It's a good way to start. But yeah, open mic is fun, Vincent, if you get a chance to come up. Thursday, I'll be at the Blind Goat in South Tampa from 6 to 9. Really cool little place, man. It's not really set up for live music. I'm kind of tucked away in the corner somewhere, but just a really cool vibe there, especially on a Thursday. I have no gigs Friday or Saturday, but I am at Finn's Dockside and Apollo Beach next Sunday. And actually, my buddy Brian, who's on right now, I don't know, Brian, I don't know if you're still on. He played there today. Really cool. Yeah, Brian brings up a good point. When you know your background music, you can read the crowd like, you know what, they're just hanging out. They want to be left alone. Just look pretty and play some cool music and don't screw up. Brian says when your background music, just consider it paid practice time. If you look at it that way, guys, what Brian's saying here, you always win because you're getting paid to practice. I had a gig last night in this place called Tampa Joe's. It turned out to be a really great show, but the first hour, man, nobody was on the patio. So I looked over at my wife and I'm like, babe, let me know if this sucks or not. I'm gonna try some stuff out that I haven't done yet. So I used it as practice time. But yeah, and that's when nobody was there though. But yeah, sometimes you have to realize that, you know, it's not your background music, and it's okay, guys. Again, if I'm going to meet friends, you know, let's say Brian's gonna buy me some pancakes or something, right? And you can do that, Brian, you know, if you want. But let's say we're going out to dinner or something like that, and there's live music, but I really haven't seen these friends in a long time, or just want to have a conversation. Maybe it's a business meeting or whatever, just want to catch up. I don't necessarily want to be overpowered with the live music. I like hearing it in the background. I might enjoy it, you know, but I want to have the conversation with the people out there. So you have to always think of that as well. Now, if you're in a band, a little bit different story, right? You're expected to be loud, so. Yeah, Timothy had some radiation, 21st year, yeah, you heard me now. Yeah, Timothy, you know, we're talking about skin cancer I had, I think in 2019, right before I left my corporate job to be a full-time, whatever you want to call me, entrepreneur, musician, whatever I am, I don't know what I am, but, yeah, I had to go get, I made a video on YouTube, I'm like, I almost had to have my head amputated because I had some spots on my head. So my wife's like, you need to go get checked, you know, so I did, finally, and, yeah, I had like the what they call pre-cancer cells or whatever, so they burned them off, I had to put some cream in my head. It's kind of weird for a Yeah, I'm just real careful now, man. I'm just really careful with that now. So, anyway, so I'll stay kind of with a light complexion. I'm okay with that. Oh man, John from Fresno, California. What's up, dude? I haven't been to last time I was in California, it was in San Francisco. I think it was 2012. It's been a long time, man. I had a brother in San Diego. He just moved though. Hayden asked, "What do I use? What did you say you use for writing songs?" Dude, I honestly don't use anything for writing songs. But I mentioned earlier, I do use a thesaurus. And all of thesauruses, guys, I won't even like go to a thesaurus.com. I'll just type in if there's a word I'm struggling with in a lyric and it just sounds too cliche, I'll type in that word and then type in synonym, and then I'll find some words that relate to that. Or if I know that this line needs to be na, like 3 syllables, right, and not 2. Well, I might look up some words that mean this with 3 syllables, right? So in short, Hayden, my tool, I guess you say, is really just Google. Rock and Dave, living in South Florida, get plenty of vitamin D from the sun. Yeah, we do. Yeah, Dave, we get a lot of vitamin D. Timothy had neck and throat cancer, kind of a good thing you never tried to sing. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, dude. That can be rough, man. Ross would like for me to play a short few seconds on acoustic, and I'm going to catch up on comments. I'm making this up, guys. I will not remit it. I've been playing a lot of death metal lately. I've got a premiere on YouTube Tuesday night, so. Acoustic, guys. Again, I will not remember a note that I just played. Ross, I have had Voodoo Ranger before. Good beer, dude. Real quick, guys, I love to shout out my local companies here. I'm sure they're not watching right now, but Tampa Bay Brewing Company, Old Elephant Foot IPA. One of my favorite beers. This is usually in the fridge. They're based out of Tampa here at Ybor City. Really good stuff, man. HB, thank you, dude. You can always start learning guitar, dude. HB, I have a guitar course called Metal Guitar. But guys, if you want to know where my guitar courses are, go to metalmastermind.com. I just typed that in wrong. Hold on a second. .com/courses, and that link I just put out there is where all my courses are. I've got some other courses out there with my business partner Ken Candelas, and there's some other creators as well. But my courses are Metal Riff Master on there and Metal Guitar Apprentice. So definitely, definitely check this out. Yeah, Gospel Mark. There's less pressure when you're background music. There is. You can kind of. The one problem I have, and if Brian you're still on, you can chime in on here too, of course. The one problem I have is when you're background music and you need to stay a little lower. If your songs that you're singing are kind of up here in your vocal range, which naturally you're going to sing a little bit louder to hit those. Sometimes like, oh shit, I can't really, so that can be a challenge. But this is where going from chest voice to head voice, or what people might call a very light falsetto, I don't really do falsetto, but chest voice to head voice can come in handy. Or you just drop it down, you just like maybe even sing the harmony or something, lower harmony, that works as well, So that's, Ray, thank you for watching the vids, dude, thank you so much. Yeah, Dave, if you ever get a chance to come up, dude, I know you're way down south, man, that'd be really cool, dude, really, really cool. And Gospel of Mark, A lot of times, if I am just background music, dude, I will do instrumentals on every song, like sometimes before, during, and in the end, because if they're not really just, and what I've learned to do, instead of just trying to shred on acoustic, because I'm guilty of that. I love playing fast, guys. You guys know that. It's just, you know. But in any case, I will sometimes play the melody of that song as well, just so it's familiar, right? So someone asked me to play. I had a really cool request, the best request I've ever had in my life. She asked me to play Hotel California, and I'm like, you know, I got it down. I don't play a lot of stuff that's cliche, maybe a couple of songs, but I do like Hotel California. Like if someone were to ask me to play Sweet Caroline, I'm like, sorry, don't know it. Brown Eyed Girl, sorry, don't know it. Jimmy Buffett's, what is the famous song? Margaritaville, good song, but I don't know it. I kind of know the songs, but I just refuse to play them because everybody plays them. And I'm like, you know, guys, you can hear that any night of the week. I'm playing something different for you. So I'll say, well, I've got something like it, and I hope you like it better. And that way, that shows that I'm thinking about them. So anyway, so, but yeah, I'll try to play. Somebody asked me for, well, do you know Out of Touch? And I'm like, all the notes? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, this person was way too young to know the song. I'm like, I was so ecstatic because that's one of the songs I do. And I do a lot of deep cuts that people, they know it, but they would never think to request it. So I was so ecstatic by that. But I would play the melody to that song a little bit on acoustic right first and then go into the vocal part of it and so forth. So, and if you're just playing like instrumental stuff, try to pick out the melody. Using the melody on songs is so simple. Okay, it's Out of Touch. I mean, real simple melody, and then I'd go into something. I would loop the rhythm.
You're out of touch, I'm out of mind. I'm out of my head when they're not around.
Old song by Hall & Oates, right? So I would loop that rhythm, then play the melody, and then I'd go into something like. Then I'd go back into the melody. So real cool. I was just, again, guys. I'm like, I'm still like get chill bumps. I'm like, I can't believe you asked me to play that song. Thank you. So it was really cool to, you know, really cool to do that. But anyway, so let me catch us up on some comments. Yeah, Dave, if you ever want to come down for open mic, so at Bootleggers Brew, again, guys, go to Jason Stallworth. I'm gonna type in the website here real quick. JasonStallworth.com. See if I can type my name in right. And I keep my schedule on that site there. Okay. Emily, big boy cat video bombing this shot. Where's he at? I'm trying to see which cat you saw, Emily. You may see the gray cat. I'm trying to see if you guys can see her. I don't think you can see her. She's back there. No, I think this plant's in the way. Hold on. Oh, you can see her back there, yeah. Yeah, that's Mama Cat. She's the gray cat. I'm trying to point to her so you guys can see. There she is. Yeah, the grayish, yeah. That's Mama Cat back there. She's a feral cat. We've had her for, my wife and I, we have spayed neutered a lot of the feral cats around our neighborhood, about 7 or 8 of them over the years, and many of them just kept hanging out. So, you know, and then we've got another kitty, the Bengal tiger looking one. His name is just Big Kitty because he's a big kitty. So we're like, okay, he's one that just came off the street. I think somebody left him or dropped him off, but he moved in with us about a year ago. So we got a lot of cats around here, man. So this is really cool. Dean should have clarified my AI comment. Kind of like Metallica has these riff tapes or phones nowadays, and they just keep picking stuff out. Let's see. I'm just catching up here, guys. Hayden, how long should I be playing guitar before you start writing songs? Dude, go with your gut, man. There's no right or wrong answer, man. You know, if you've got a song coming up in your head, then get it down the best you can. Don't wait. Never, guys. I will tell you this in business, okay? And remember, I'm not like some super successful entrepreneur. I won't pretend to be, but I did leave a really nice paying, comfortable corporate job 3 years ago to take a chance to do what I do. And I will tell you this, lessons learned, mistakes made, is do not wait until you're ready, because you will never, that time will never come. Because you're always like, well, gotta be here, so yeah, if you got some songs coming in, man, get whatever you gotta get down the best you can, because if you wait, that idea will be gone forever, man. So just my advice on that. And Time Prophet, you can definitely write a song with 2 chords. There's a couple songs out there with 2 chords. I was learning Robert Palmer's I Didn't Mean to Turn You On. I think there's 3 chords in that, but a lot of it's just 2 chords in that. So cool stuff, man. All right. There's a YouTube channel called Apocalyptic Riffs. That's cool, man. Check out Hall & Oates tribute record to the Bird and the Bee. Yeah, man, I love some Hall & Oates. I mean, they have a lot of good hits. I don't really care for every single song they've written, but the songs that I like that they've written, the ones I like, I really like. So it's kind of weird how that works, you know. Any case, so. Christian done that. Yeah, I play Hotel California, but it's, I mean, they're just really chords. I play it, I don't really know all the words. I've got to read the iPad if I don't know a song well enough to the point where I can't look away from the iPad. Sometimes I need the iPad just to see that first line of lyrics, like, okay, got it. But I've never memorized the words to Hotel California, so I just don't play it. It's just a long song. That's the thing about the Eagles and Don Henley. They crammed a lot of words into their songs, but they were storytelling, which is really cool. Very, very cool, you know. I think so. Christian asks if there's a big difference between passive and active pickups. Not really. I mean, honestly, in short, if you're playing with passive pickups and you feel like you're not getting enough out of them, crank the gain up on the amp and you've got active pickups pretty much. You know, it's really, I don't get caught up in the pickup, you know, the pickup comparisons too much. I play primarily an Ibanez RG, Prestige RG 1570, and it has passive pickups, and I love those pickups. They sound more punchy than any active pickups I've ever heard, and they're stock pickups at that, B78. So not really big enough, you know, difference to notice. Simon, thank you, dude. Martha from Australia, thank you. Emily says it was a big gray silver tabby. Yep, that was Mama Cat.
No.
Was that?
I think she saw.
Did she see Big Kitty? Yeah, I think she saw Big Kitty.
Tab is.
Tabby Cat's like a type. Yeah, so Emily, just to clarify again, sorry. See Mama Cat back there. Where's Mama Cat?
She's eating.
She's on the patio. They're all eating. But you saw Big Kitty, to clarify earlier. I don't know where Big Kitty is. He's inside, okay. Oh man. Cats do love metal. Yeah, we have a lot of cats here, man. We have a lot of cats that we take care of around the area. We love. It's just something that we do. Oh man, Simon's dropping into Clearwater from UK. Oh man, Simon. Hey, listen. The 19th. Wait a minute. He's coming. He's dropping in Clearwater from UK, coming to Killing Curly Winery. So you play on. Now you're talking. You're talking August 19th? I'm pretty sure that's what you meant, right? August 18th. So I'm sorry, someone's coming. So Simon, I'll be at Killing Curly Winery on August 18th the next time. So yeah, definitely. And I take a break in between sets. And after the show, man, I usually hang out for a little while, 30 minutes, 45 minutes after I break down. So Simon, come have a beer. Please come see me, man. Because sometimes people will come see a show and then they don't say anything. And I'm like, hey, man, let's come have a beer, man. I'm always ecstatic to see folks from YouTube and social media. So yeah, Simon, come on down, man. Definitely. Javier, sitting on the beach. I want to be like you, sitting on the beach with a margarita. Not quite the beach, but hey, I guess it's close enough. We got our pool here. I'm usually working on Sundays. Like every other Sunday, I don't have a gig, so I try to do this to have some a couple beers and just come on here. I'm always working, guys. I mean, technically I'm working now, but I enjoy it. I love what I do. Hayden, yeah, I mean, Hayden, that's just, you go off your intuition, brother. What does your intuition say? What is the first, Hayden's asking, should you try to go ahead and find band members, or should you learn guitar singing first? I mean, and I'm going to say go with your intuition, but, I mean, you do need, if you're wanting to start a band as soon as possible, the more time you can put into your craft, playing and singing, the better, So, I mean, if you're brand new, dude, then I would at least get to a certain level of competency, before trying to start a band, right? Because you don't want to put band members together and it's like, well, by the way, guys, I got to learn how to play guitar and sing. You don't want to do that. But I mean, you can start talking about visionary type stuff too, But yeah, I mean, it sounds like you're very driven to get out there and start doing this, and I admire that. That's a great thing, Hayden. But put as much time as you can into practicing and singing, and you'll do fine, man. You'll do just fine. We got some good band tips, by the way, coming, how to start a band and keep it together. As more importantly, coming from my friend Brad Mader from the band Must Not Kill. I just had him in the studio the other night, and we filmed, it's like a 40-minute session, man. An interview with Brad Mader. So I'm going to have that premiering on the channel here on my YouTube channel on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Show up for that, guys. Definitely do that, So do show up for that. I love Testament songs, Timothy. Testament songs are really cool, man. I've always loved them. That was probably one of the loudest shows I've ever seen, man. I think it's back in 2017, It's a very loud show. Very good show, though. Catching up with you guys here. Hayden, I've got recording tutorials on my site, man. Just do a search on my channel for recording. Yeah, you'll find plenty of stuff on recording stuff. But it sounds like you just got to get down to the basics, man. You can go on Google and YouTube, search my channel. You'll find practically everything you need to get started just to record your ideas down, Zermato, getting late in Norway, gotta walk the dogs. Thank you, Zermato, for joining. I know it was super late in Norway. We'll probably be wrapping things up pretty soon, you guys. So, Dave doing a flamenco rock version of Hotel California. That's gotta be a cool version, man. So Dave, you bring up a very good point, Rockin' Dave Byron, in regards to Hotel California getting overplayed. This is why I refuse to play certain songs. There's 3 songs I absolutely will not play. I don't care how much money you throw at me, because I do it as part of my income, but when I have to start doing things for money, it just doesn't become fun anymore. If it's like, well, I need this. So song number 1, and guys, you can play these songs. I'm not saying you shouldn't play these songs, but number 1, I will not play Sweet Caroline. I just hate that freaking song. No, I won't play it. Brown Eyed Girl. No, I won't play it. Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville, I think is a great song. Genius lyrics, but I won't play it because all 3 of those songs are overplayed. Like, if you go into almost any live show tonight, tomorrow night, and every night of the week here in Tampa, probably almost anywhere, you're going to hear that one of those songs. So I'm glad you brought that up, Dave, talking about Hotel California being overplayed. And that's just one of the reasons why I don't do it, because a lot of people do it, and it's like, okay, you guys can hear that anywhere. I'm going to give you something else. And guys, here's my tip. And I know we're talking a lot about live solo gigs, and a lot of you probably are metal guitarists down here. I stick to a certain genre, and I kind of stay in this little bubble. I love the 80s. When I'm not listening to like Amon Amarth and Arch Enemy and Nightwish and Sonata Arctica, bands like that, old school Metallica, I'm listening. I love the 80s. I'm playing, so that's what I do. So I don't venture outside of that, and I play 80s rock and a little bit of pop. I don't really play country. I'm just not a big country fan. I don't play 90s, like the grunge and all that. I don't play any new music. Because once you start breaking out and playing these other genres that maybe you really don't like, then you start getting requests and people expect, oh, well, you knew that one, now you know this one. So I don't feel so bad about getting a request from the 80s because chances are I either probably do know it or I know something very similar to it. Just like the other night, the girl requested a song and then she asked for Hall & Oates. I'm like, yeah, I got it. So staying in like my lane, so to speak, kind of keeps me, I don't really get a lot of requests. I get a lot of great feedback from the audience, hence I have, you know, more live solo gigs than I honestly want right now. I'm playing like 10 or 12 times a month. And I don't do this full time. This is a very, very, very much a part-time thing that I do. So anyway, I don't like to play stuff that's overplayed. So let's see here. Rockin' Dave has some kitties. Yeah, they do love metal, dude. Vincent, you know Brad from Must Not Kill. Yeah, guys, Must Not Kill. Brad Mader will be on my channel. We filmed a video a couple nights ago. He was over here, and we're actually having some brews together and some dinner, and then we went upstairs and filmed. So that premieres Tuesday night, guys. Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can go to my channel, guys. You can actually, you know what? Let me just send you guys the link real quick here, man, because I'm excited about this, man. This is gonna be such this is gonna be such a cool video. It's already put together. So how a premiere works, really quick. So it will show on YouTube. It'll start at 7 o'clock. But I will be on the chat, and then Brad's going to be on the chat as well. Okay, Tuesday. Must Not Kill. So go to this, and you guys don't have to do it now, but check that out and make sure that you set your reminder for that, guys. So that's going to be cool. Apocalyptic Riffs, thank you for subbing, dude. Appreciate it, man. Over 50 Metalhead, yeah. And, you know, in Apocalyptic Riffs, the funny thing is, so tomorrow when I have Brad on, he actually does downtune his guitar to C sharp standard, and we talked a little bit about that. And we talked a little bit about my struggles with the 7-string, and I'll give you guys a little sneak peek. One of the problems that Brad has seen with downtuning, like past C sharp, and I've seen this too, is like, you'll see bands playing low notes. They're moving their fingers all over the place, but you can't really hear what those notes are because they're just too low. So that's, you know, one of the reasons and I don't want to give too much away because he's going to talk more about this on the Tuesday night premiere, which is going to be really, really cool. So, yeah. Time Purpose says, Journey's not overplayed. Yeah, I mean, you can, you know, if you pull off a Journey song really well, you know what? You can't really overplay that. Oh man, so Timothy quit doing open mic gigs because of requests. Simply want to do my own music. Yeah, you know what? And Timothy, there's a few reasons to go to open mic, but one reason to go to open mic is to play your own songs, man. You know, I mean that's kind of. You're not really going there to play covers. Now, a second reason to go to open mic is if you are wanting to play covers out and get paid for them, this is a good way to play covers in front of people to get used to doing that, right? So that you can build up that skill, and you can hopefully make some connections. Another reason is just go to have some beers and play some music, you know? But, yeah, I mean, so I get it. I mean, open mic, it's funny, like we never have requests for open mic. Open mic at our open mic at Bootleggers Brewing, it's all about like, hey, I'm sitting back, I want to hear what you have to perform. I want to appreciate your music, whether it's a cover song or your own music, you know. So, there that. So yeah. Yeah, Rockin' Dave, I stay in my lane, man. I really do, dude. I know where my strengths are, but I'm also very aware of my weaknesses, and I'm also aware of things I just don't want to do, you know. I spent many, many years working jobs I just didn't want to work, you know, and now I don't have to do that anymore, you know. So, Damien, good question. So, Damien, I always do vocal exercises before. So what I do is a quick search, Ken Tamplin warm up, and he's got 2 warm up lessons I go through. I also use the course Metal Vocal Virtuoso, which is one of the courses on my platform, metalmastermind.com. Elizabeth Dedeus teaches that course, so I go through her warm-ups as well. So in other words, I just do vocal exercises before every gig, and I do them daily anyway. I do every day when I'm coming home from the gym. I've got about a 20-minute drive home from the gym. At least half of that is doing vocal warm-ups just to get my voice ready for that day. And if I have a gig later that day, I'm gonna hit those warm-ups again. Just that alone, dude, it like seriously changes everything about your voice, everything. And I will not do a show without doing some sort of vocal warm-up. I just won't do it. The lip drills, you know, that sounds ridiculous and it kind of takes a little bit, but yeah, anyway, look up, go to YouTube, do Ken Tamplin vocal warm-up, and he's got some great warm-ups. Or go to metalmastermind.com and look up Metal Vocal Virtuoso. She, of course, is for metal singing, but part of her course is some really good warm-ups in there as well. Christian, thoughts on Aerosmith? You know, I liked them. I didn't dislike them, but I was never like really a hardcore fan of Aerosmith. I mean, I think they have great music, but I was just never like a super hardcore Aerosmith fan. I respect the hell out of them, man, because they've got good music, you know. The Top Gun thing, fake account. Dude, you got a fake account. See if I remember this, guys. Something like that, yeah. Top Gun, man. Top Gun was cool. I remember playing that. I think I played that at church one day, maybe like 30 years ago. Oh, man. Yeah, Dave, a lot of talented open mics. Open mics are fun, man. I met a guy, his name's Ivan, and I think he'll be there this week as well. He gets into a little bit more looping than what I get. I just use a looper just to record rhythm. Loop that just so I can play some lead over it. But he was like doing some shade, he was doing some percussion with it and all that. And I really admire that. It's not something I'm really interested in doing myself, but anyway, a lot of talent coming up in the open mics. It's really, really cool, man. So, fake account, easiest ways, honestly, well, yeah, for all forms of music, the easiest way to learn is just learn your basic chords and a couple basic scales and go from there. And, you know, what Brad talks about, you guys will hear this on Tuesday night, he gives some tips for beginners, and one of the things, I don't want to give too much away because I want you guys to be there, you know, but he talks about, you know, play the music you like to play, you know. If your guitar teacher is teaching you Mary Had a Little Lamb and that's not what you want to play, well, ditch that teacher, man, you know. I mean, play what you want to play. It's the point of playing music, you know. Learn the basics, like learn your basic chords, you know. Learn your basic chords, maybe learn the minor and major scale. If you learn the major scale, and if you learn the minor scale, you know, and you can play those anywhere on the fretboard, right? Just those alone, just learn a major and minor scale. And once you know one, you know them all. Learn your basic chords, and you can take that and you can like make magic with that. So it's just, that's my biggest thing for folks starting out. Apocalyptic Riffs, EVH and the drop D unchained riff. Yeah, I've never. Oh yeah, I love some Death. Death is from my area here. I mean, you may realize that already, but actually, you know, Brad Mader, I believe he knew the guy from Death, Chuck. You know, back in the day. Again, he's going to be on the channel Tuesday. Timothy played all hair metal covers. I want to play with High School Garage Band. Yeah, I mean, I do some hair metal covers too, man. I do a lot of like Bryan Adams, Richard Marx, Don Henley. I'm glad you guys are talking about this, by the way, because I've often wondered. You know, I've got some live solo gig tips out there on my channel. Some of the videos are doing well, but I know a lot of people that play metal guitar could really care less about playing acoustic, and then some of the people that see my live acoustic gig tips coming onto my channel, they probably don't care that much about metal, but I just didn't want to go through the hassle of starting a new channel for the live solo stuff. I'm like, oh my god, I just don't have the time to do that right now, you know. So, let's see here. Any tips on overcoming nerves and shyness and playing in front of people? Damien, the best thing you do, dude, open mic. If you have any kind of nervousness, I'm nervous before I get on stage, even if there's, you know, sometimes I get up on stage and there's a few hundred people out there playing the acoustic gigs. Sometimes I get on stage and there's, you know, 10 people out there, but I always get the same kind of nervousness. But you always have to, you know, remember the why. Why are you doing this? If you go back to that every time, then you're like, okay, I'm there. Why are you playing music? Why do you want to play live music? You know, why do you want to get up in front of people and play? Stay true to that. You know, stay true to that, and always call upon that. And you guys will never have any issues. You're always gonna be a little nervous. That's a good thing. Like if you didn't care, you wouldn't be nervous, right? I would be nervous about the fact that somebody's not nervous, you know, because that just means you don't really care that much about what you're doing. So it's okay to have a little bit of that, but open mic is one of the best things. Hayden, never heard of Motionless, but I do know what it's like to be obsessed with some songs and bands, dude, definitely. Good quality acoustic. I bought this Takamine. This is a Takamine G series from a good friend of mine. He's a worship leader out in Tampa, Wesley Chapel, John Castillo, and he sold this to me for $300, man. It has been just a phenomenal guitar. I also recently bought a Martin. Well, it's been about a year now. I bought a Martin guitar. It's kind of a mid-grade, very nice guitar as well. But yeah, I mean, quality acoustic. If you're on any kind of budget, get something that's pre-owned. My good friends at Replay Guitar Exchange here in Tampa, they will set you up with something good. And then I know Sweetwater has some good stuff out there as well. So. Timothy's play, your goat went to slaughter. Oh, yeah. They killed the butcher. Oh, man. Emily, take 7-string, tune up, step from B1 to C sharp 2. Heck yeah, I like that. I think I kind of like that. Willie, cheers, dude. Gospel Mark, I never mess with my tunings on my acoustic. I have thought about it because, man, if I could tune an acoustic to D standard, there are some Bon Jovi songs I could play in his key and hit perfectly, which I think that's what he's doing now. I think he's even tuning down further than that. But like even Dead or Alive, you know, it's not super high, but you know, the problem with singing live solo gigs is you're not playing an hour concert like most bands do, or hour and a half. You're up there for 3 and 4 hours. Most of my gigs, guys, are 4 hours long. So I don't want to push my voice at any capacity during that time, because I've got to sustain for that long. You know, you're taking breaks and stuff. But I have considered down tuning for that reason, because I don't really like using capos. It's not me, but anyway. So I've considered it, but I just haven't done it yet. You know. Thank you, Hector. Hector is on. I would have loved to seen Death, dude. That would have been cool. Hayden, those are all good questions, man. But, you know, Hayden's asking what types of metal are there and how do bands make songs that people can get obsessed with. I mean, if we all had that answer, then we'd all be making songs that people are obsessed with. So I can't tell you that answer. You know, what I can tell you is, as far as metal goes, don't be so concerned with trying to reach the masses and everybody liking your music. Write from your heart and do what you can the best way you can do that, and be authentic, be original. Don't try to sound like someone else, you know. And the people that like it will be the people that like it, and go with that and appreciate that, you know. But don't worry about so much, well, I've got to write a song that everybody's obsessed with, or, you know, just write from your heart, because people that try to write songs that people are going to obsess over, probably not going to write a song that people are going to obsess over, because there's not really a secret formula. I mean, you can use the 4 magic chords, you know? the Journey chorus. What is it? 8. That's what I play. Don't Stop Believing.
Don't stop believing.
And I play a A, E. And it's in a different key. I think it's a D. But anyway, so yeah, you could do all that. But like, I just don't. Hayden, the one thing I can tell you, dude, do not overthink. Don't overthink the process. Just, you know, learn as much as you can and go into it with your gut, dude. Your intuition, I'm a true believer. If you have a pure heart, pure intentions, your intuition is always going to send you in the right direction, man. Vincent, any thoughts on how to record solos well? Well, you know, I mentioned don't overthinking just a minute ago, and that's kind of a theme for tonight, and it's something that me and Brad will talk about on the premiere on Tuesday night on my channel here. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, guys. You got to do that. Got to be there. I'll be online to chat during the video. It's about 43 minutes long, I believe. It's kind of a lengthy video, but it's so worth it. Make a cup of coffee, get a beer, water, whatever, and just sit back and enjoy the show. I'll be online to chat during that time. So will Brad. He'll be on as Must Not Kill on their YouTube channel. So we'll be on the chat during that time. It's going to be really cool. But yeah, I mean, recording solos is, I like to add just a little bit of pinch of reverb, a little bit of delay on my solos. And I've got the gain cranked up because I want that sustained. But, you know, I record, everything's really done, kind of dumbed down and simplistic for me, man. I don't use a lot of stuff, you know, not at all. Yeah, Dave brings up a really good point, answering Damien, is open mics. People are very supportive, man. Open mics is almost like a really cool little cult when you start going to certain places and you start showing up and these people are like, hey, we expect you to be here every week now, you know. And it's just a cool, it's a great way to get to meet some other musicians, man. Willie, 12-string acoustics just sound beautiful. That's a beautiful sound, dude. Emily, thank you for answering Hayden. Yeah, so many subgenres and hybrid genres. We talk about that as well. I'm giving you guys all these little hints, but like Brad from Must Not Kill and I, we'll be talking about this Tuesday night. You'll hear it. We talk about subgenres. So I'm like, Brad, we Must Not Kill. You guys are like kind of like thrash metal until the vocals come in. It's definitely, he's like, you know, we just get thinking about like it doesn't have to be classified in any particular genre. Just and what I'll say to you guys, and just my advice might be wrong, by the way, but just my personal advice is don't try to write to fit a certain genre. This is why it's taken me over two years to complete the album I've been working on. Well, I've been working on other things too. Some other things came up, Metal Mastermind, my guitar courses and such. But I went back and forth with this album quite a bit because certain songs didn't sound like they fit on the album, and I got thinking like, well, screw this. I don't have to make it fit. This is just what's coming out for this album. Just, you know, stop. For me, I had to tell myself, I had to kick myself and say, stop overthinking. Just write the damn song, Jason. Just finish it, dude. You know. So I would say don't really worry so much about that sort of thing. You know, Apocalyptic Riffs just brought up a good point. Is, you know, you have to be obsessed with the music. I'm paraphrasing. He says, you know, play what you're obsessed with and passionate about. And I'll say this about anything you're trying to promote. You have to be obsessed about it if you want someone else to be obsessed about it. If you're putting something out, an album, a product, art, or anything, if you're not obsessed with it, how can you expect someone else to be obsessed with it, right? So they have to feed off your energy. So that's a very, very good advice there, you know. So Hayden, we definitely wish you well on this journey, man. Don't stop doing it. Just you know, thrash metal musician. Would you ever try a Kemper on my channel? Yeah, actually, the guys from Siren, the local band in Tampa, local metal band here, Siren, they've been around since the '80s. But their guitar players, Todd and Hal, played with the Kemper on their past few albums, and I've been meaning to get them on the channel because I want them to go over their Kemper on my channel. That's coming, guys. That's coming. I haven't had time to do that. So that's coming at some point here. Yeah. Well, Time Profit, yeah, I do have the, yeah, you guys are talking about the Pod Go. So one thing, guys, I only use my Pod Go. I don't use it for metal. I know I've got some videos on my channel on using it for metal if you want to do that. And I just wanted to showcase what it was capable of. Because I mean, I think it's more than capable of doing whatever you want to with it. But I use mine strictly for live solo gigs. I have an acoustic patch, a rhythm and lead acoustic patch. And you guys know I'll sometimes loop an acoustic rhythm, pick up my electric, and I've got an electric guitar patch for it as well. So that's all I use it for. So there's 4 sounds I use on that thing. That's it, maybe 5. So, but it's a great unit. You just got to be careful if you're playing outdoor gigs and it's hot. It's very susceptible. I shouldn't say very, but it is susceptible to heat. I've had it started cutting out on me in the brutal heat of the summer, like right now, in a couple gigs. So that's something to be aware of. You know. Vincent says, remember seeing Must Not Kill back in 2009. Yeah, Brad is phenomenal, man. So you'll hear some riffs Tuesday night that he's playing as well. I mean, he's a professional musician, man. He's been a touring pro his entire life. He's never done anything outside of music or entertainment. You know, he's just, you know. So it was such an honor to have him on the channel. So I'm really excited about Tuesday night, guys. I hope to see you all there. It's really cool. Thank you, Apocalypse. Thanks for coming on, dude. Yeah, Time Profit. The Pod Go has some really great effects, man. Emily and her 5-string basses. Emily, real quick question for you, and I'm sorry if I've asked this and you've already answered it, but I like Elixir strings for my guitars, but what bass strings do you use for 5-string bass and the gauge? I'd love to know the brand, Emily, because Emily's a really awesome bass player. So if you can tell me what brand bass strings and gauge for 5-string bass, I'd love to know that, Emily. Probably some other folks would like to know that on here as well. Somebody's asked, thrash metal musician asking, am I still doing the video on the Boss TT 100? I do, probably not, man. I've never played through one before. Like when I film at the guitar store, I can film an amp or a guitar because I've only got like a short window of time to film. But I don't think I'd ever be able to film. I don't think they'd have a GT 1000 in there for me to, and I'd have to pull it out of the box, and of course it wouldn't be new anymore. So yeah, I can't. I mean, if there's somebody that I know that has one and they want to, you know, let me use it to film something, yeah, I'd be more than happy to try it out. But the chances of that happening probably are slim, to be honest with you. Yep, outdoor gigs are rough on the streets. No, I am not sponsored or endorsed by Elixir. I wish I was. I need to be because I promote their strings all the time. I love Elixir strings. I've got nano webs on this, nano webs lights, I believe, or custom lights, something like that. And I've got them on this Takamine and my Martin guitar. I've got the nano webs super lights on all my electrics, guys. My Telecaster that I play for live solo gigs, and granted, I only pull it out for probably like 3 or 4 songs during a set, and that's like 2 or 3 times a week. But those strings have been on that guitar for like 2 months now, and they're still great. The acoustic strings I need to change because I'm always pulling the guitars in and out. But my acoustic strings, 3 to 4 weeks, guys. I don't change. I change them like maybe every 3 to 4 weeks. Keep in mind, I'm playing out acoustic 3 or 4 times, or 2 to 3 times a week. And of course, you know, right now we're in like the heat of the summer, so you know, there's something to be said for Elixir strings, man. I love those strings. Some people don't care for the coating. I love it. I have a hard time playing without the coating now. So that's also, Mark. I've got this wristband I wear on this wrist right here because it's a strumming hand, you know. Because if you don't wear that, you will get sweat coming down here. You're gonna get some anyway, but. And this gross, guys, but I've got a wristband that my wife got me. I've got several of them that I just wear around my wrist, so that's helped quite a bit, you know. Hayden, you know, choosing the pick, man, you got to play with a lot of picks and choose what feels good to you. It's all, you guys, the thing about playing guitar, about strings, about picks, someone could tell you what you should be using, and I would say don't listen to them. Even if I told you, you better use this, you need to use this, don't listen to me if I ever tell you that, because you have to find out what feels natural and best for you, you know? So, that's just, that's my biggest advice. Emily, my bass strings, thank you. The boomers, okay, so I've been using those for a long time. So you have a set of elixers you want to try, okay. So, Emily, okay, and then you're going with 130 through 45 through 130. Thank you, Emily, thank you so much. Awesome. And I think that might be what I've been using. I haven't changed strings on my bass in over a year, so yeah, we need to do that soon. Oh man. Yeah, Timothy, my beer is getting warm. Switch to Scotch on the rocks. Hey, I like some Scotch on the rocks, man, no doubt. Yeah, Mark, I'm glad you wore the wristband, dude. That's something I learned early on, man. The acoustic will get, it gets pretty nasty, dude. Yeah, but I love elixirs, man. I swear I could, I need to, I need to be part owner of that company or something, man, because I love their strings. I remember when we had the whole plague that hit a couple years ago, they were not making 7-string elixirs for a while. I'm like, what am I gonna do? And I was considering getting rid of my 7-string anyway, but you know. Hey, real quick, guys, and I don't pressure you guys to do this, but if you guys feel like donating to the channel, leaving a tip here, you're able to do that. I believe I have a super chat, I think is what it's called on here. So hey, just to let you guys know it's there, if you wanna pay it forward, and I'll pay it forward for with more content. So, but yeah, the elixirs, awesome. Willie Snyder used Diodarios on the 12-string. You know, I've switched to other strings a few different times over the years. I've been using elixirs for probably over 2 decades now. But I've switched strings, and guys, every single time I've changed brand on strings, 2 days, maybe 3, maybe even a week, I took those strings off and went back to elixirs because I just didn't like them. Yeah, Dave. I use elixirs on everything, dude. I like the lights, or the custom lights rather, on my acoustics because they've still got the bottom end, you know. Now this Takamini's kind of tinny. If I were to bring my Martin out here, you would hear it's like a super bottom end, man. Well, it's still got a nice full sound. And of course you're plugged in, so you can EQ it the way you want, but you want a natural good sound. But then on my electrics, I use Elixir Nanowebs. Exact same thing. But electrics, I like the super light strings. So there's, I believe, the 9 through 42. So that's what I like to use on those. Those are, guys, those strings last forever. I change strings on electrics probably every 4 to 6 months, literally. And I play guitar for a living, guys. I've got a guitar in my hand there's not a day that goes by where I don't have a guitar in my hand at some point, whether I'm on stage or I'm in the studio or if I'm just out here on the patio. Like I had no gigs today, and I'm just jamming. And also, and I'm reading some more comments about the Pod Go. You guys know, you've seen the Black Star Amp 3 on my channel. I just got sponsored by them, just a small sponsorship to do a few videos on their unit. And I've really, genuinely been liking that thing. I was kind of afraid, I'm like, this Black Star, I want to get in with them because I love their amps. I've played with a few of their amps, but I don't know how this Amp 3 is going to sound. And it took me a couple days to get used to it, but now it's just like, I haven't touched a plug-in. I played through my amp a few times because I've had to re-record some things, but I'm actually going to be using the Amp 3 by Black Star, the amp pedal, for my lead guitar tracks and probably some other additional, rhythm tracks I might throw in here and there. Most of the rhythm tracks for this album coming up, hey Mom Cat, she's back there, you guys see her, were recorded with my EVH amp. I wasn't going to go back and re-record everything with the Black Star because it's already done. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm like, okay, I got these rhythms right where I want them. I'm not touching this. So anyway. Dean Markley fan. Tim, I had Man, that was my first guitar amp. I had a Dean Markley, little Dean Markley amp, dude. So what me and my friend, I wish he was on here tonight. His name is Alex Green. He's in Pensacola, Florida. Him and I are old guitar buddies. We started playing around the same time. And man, my Dean Markley amp is so tiny, but if you cranked it up all the way, it was kind of loud and kind of got a little distortion. So it wouldn't be so loud. We put the amp in the dryer and closed the dryer door and cranked it all the way up so it sounded a little bit more metal and it wasn't like so blaring. So that's what we did. That was pretty cool. Willie, the improv medals. Thank you, dude. Thank you, man. Yeah. Guys, I'll be honest with you. Most everything I do is improv. I don't really plan too much stuff out musically because it just kind of takes the fun out of it, you know. Hayden, I do have a guitar collection video. I'm trying to think how long ago that was, but it's probably about a year or so ago. But if you go on my channel, dude, I've got a lot of stuff out there, man. But guys, let me know. Let me know if you guys have any more questions. I know we've been going for quite some time now. I'm gonna jam a little bit more here on the patio. Probably have one more brewski before it's time to go in. And but let me know if you guys have any more questions before we wrap things up. I want to remind everyone, Tuesday night, man, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go to that video and make sure you schedule it, guys. Do it. I've got Brad Mader on for Nuts Not Kill. He's such an inspiring person as well. You know, it was really cool to have someone in my room. I've had a few people on the channel. You know, Doug Lee, Eddie Bourne from Siren, and I've had a few people on my channel that are true. You know, have toured around the world, and you know, this guy Brad Mader with Must Not Kill might be the biggest one. You know, he's played with other bands, several other bands. He's toured with bands like Deicide and bands like that. So he's, you know, he's phenomenal. I think you guys will really enjoy his content and the things he has to, the value he has to give to us. Thrash metal musician, what's my opinion on the Gary Holt ESPV? I haven't played it, dude, so I don't know. I played some. It's funny, so I shoot some videos at Replay Guitar Exchange here in Tampa. I do some for my channel just to give you guys some new gear. I think the last gear piece I did a couple days ago was the Les Paul, the Kirk Hammett Les Paul, right? The Kirk Hammett Les Paul Greenie. But then I also did a video for their channel, just featuring some of the metal guitar equipment they have. And my buddy had a Jackson V, Cliff had a Gibson V, and I had the ESPV, but it wasn't a Gary Holt V, it was something else. I think it might have been I can't remember what it was, to be honest with you. But anyway, haven't played the Gary Holt V. You know, as far as guitars go, guys, it's really all preference, man. Like, I played the Les Paul a couple days ago. I'm not really a Les Paul fan. I don't dislike them, but I just, it's not my favorite. They don't, you know, Rockin' Dave, thank you for coming on, brother. Thank you, and good luck with everything that's going on right now, man. So get out there and play some stuff. Scene, Dave's gonna sing, guys. We're gonna hear it soon. But you know, as far as guitars go, like I love my Ibanez RG 1570. It's an old Prestige model back from like 2000, 2001, and Time Prophet, you just hit the nail on the head, dude. He says, I don't like the style of Les Paul, but they sound great, and that's exactly my thoughts, dude. You just summed up my thoughts. I like the way they sound. Like, I love hearing Slash play. I'm a big Slash fan. You know, you go back and listen to Guns N' Roses, and I get it. He wasn't doing, you know, the 101 sweep arpeggios up and down the neck, but you know, he was like very just like, I don't know, it was like, you knew it was Slash. You know, he's one of the few guitar players that, like, as soon as he hits that note, like Joe Satriani, even Kirk Hammett, you know it's them. So I admired that. But it had a great and just beautiful sound. A lot of just like when you, instead of shredding on a Les Paul, if you just hit a note and sustain it, oh, that's when the Les Paul shines. That's what I found out. I was trying to shred on it the other day. I'm like, this just is not really like working out too well. I'm playing fast, but this doesn't sound good. But when I hit that one note, wow, you know, it's like, whoa, okay, this is what a Les Paul is supposed to do. So it's not my favorite guitar in the world, but I like the way they sound, you know. Willie says, what is your favorite new artist and what label? Well, a lot of bands I like that are newer bands don't have labels, man. Guys, and we won't get into this tonight, but maybe we'll get into it in the future on the channel here, or maybe on metalmastermind.com. I'm a big believer in you being your own label. Learn to market. I'm going to be talking more about learning how to market your music and market yourself and this sort of thing, you know. Yeah, but I'm a firm believer that unless you're some big band in this, and that's what you already are, then yeah, okay, you're on the label, that's working for you. But you know, why not learn to do what the label does? Why not learn to market your own music? This is what I learned a few years ago. You know, crap, guys, I encourage people to start a YouTube channel, man. Start doing your thing on YouTube. You know, start doing something on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Doesn't matter what platform. Just get out there. Build your audience. Yeah, every one of you watching this right now, you have an audience. They're waiting for you to get out there. Every one of you do. So learn those skills. Learn how to market. Read some. I've got a gazillion marketing books upstairs that I've read. I'd love to share more of the stuff with you if you guys are interested in this sort of thing. So let me know. Because there's so many things you can do. But I heard a band on progrock.com. My good friend has a radio show I talked about earlier. Scott Neumeister, he goes under DJ Scott Loki. On Mondays, go to progrock.com. On Mondays from 10 to 12 Central Time, okay, 11 to 1 Eastern Standard Time. He does a prog metal show, and The Fall of Me is a new band I'm listening to right now. The Fall of Me. And they've got really just some cool music. I really love what they're doing. So, and I don't know if they're to a label or if they're doing their own thing or not. I don't know if you'll ever see me on a label, to be honest with you. Thrash metal, dude, I'm streaming this from my iPhone right now, man. I'm just sitting on the patio here, dude. Not, you know, not too much, not too fancy here tonight, you know. Jeff, what's up, dude? Never heard of John Butler, man. No. The best, Hayden asks, how do you get your music on the radio? I mean, honestly, guys, radio's kind of dead. Like, when I grew up, yeah, you wanted to be on a radio station, but nowadays, I mean, you know, radio's more like prog rock radio, progrock.com was too, but, you know, don't learn to crawl before you walk when it comes to music, Hayden. You know, I know you have a lot of great questions, man, and I admire you that you've got a passion for this, but don't overthink the process so much that you get overwhelmed. You know, you're still new at guitar and singing. Focus on that right now. You can read about the other stuff, but don't over-obsess with it, man. Learn the basics first. The more time you spend on that, the other stuff will come. And if you're driven enough, and I believe that you are, you'll grow. You'll grow into the other stuff, right? Time Prophet, I'd love to buy a used car if you. I can sell you, man. I got one for sale right now. 200,000. Yeah, $200,000. It just doesn't run. So, but buy it anyway. It'll run later. Oh man, it was funny. Yeah, Timothy, watch this Tuesday, man. At 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be great. Again, I'll be on the chat. The Premiere YouTubes. I publish a Premiere. I'm like, hey, are you live? And Premiere's not really live, right? But it's pre-recorded. But I will be online to chat with you guys. And then Brad Mader, he's going to be on the Must Not Kill channel to chat with you guys as well. So I'm looking for a good time, man. That's going to be a really cool night, guys. Really cool night. Hey, give this video a like real quick. Let YouTube know you like this, if you guys don't mind. Guys, real quick, if you do not know about my guitar courses, I've got online guitar courses. Head over to metalmastermind.com. This link that I'm sending you here. Head over to that website. You'll find all my guitar courses there, Metal Riff Master, Metal Guitar Apprentice, if you guys don't have it. I know a lot of you watching have that already, but check that out. Yeah, Time Prophet, no radio, man. I mean, I listen to iTunes. I love, you know, I embrace the changes, guys. You know, one thing about getting older, I'm 48 years old. You know, you can either be stuck in the past and like, oh, things aren't the way they used to be, I'm pissed off about it, or you can just embrace the change and make those changes work for you. And I choose to do the latter. You know, I'm gonna make, like, I love the fact that I can go to iTunes and I can pick a song and then start a radio station based on that song, and it gives me stuff like that. So I've discovered a lot of new bands that way, so I think it's really cool. Jeff, great acoustic songwriter, cool, man. Thank you for watching, Jeff, by the way, Jeff. Press a like. Appreciate you being on the channel, dude, thank you. Yeah, I mean, as much as I'm a metal guy, I love the acoustic stuff, guys. I love the acoustic, you know, songwriter type stuff. Yeah, Time Prophet, you know the 3 magical chords, dude. You can do it, you know. Damien, the weather's nice right now, but let me tell you something, dude. Like, the past few weeks, it has been brutally hot. Like, you walk outside to check the mail and you gotta take a shower, dude. So tonight, for some reason, we had a little rain, it's overcast. It's been really nice. I actually jumped in the pool with my father-in-law earlier, and it's pretty beautiful out here right now. So, yeah. Ireland, man. I'd love to visit Ireland someday, dude. We will visit Ireland someday. Time Prophet stuck in the past with over 500 CDs. I get it, man. I totally get it, dude. That's right. You're in Time Prophet's British, man. He's still wearing garments to keep him warm in the cold British weather. Yeah, Vincent, dude. I know. Yeah, you're around the area. It's just, dude, it's been unusually hot. You know, we say this every year though. It's unusually hot, man. But I mean, every year it's just hot. It was hot, you know, 30, 40 years ago when I was out mowing grass. It's hot today, you know. But today was just a really nice, really nice day for weather. Yeah, a lot of bands, you know, Timothy, a lot of older bands have new stuff, dude. You know, Testament's popping out new albums. A lot of older bands are still doing it, and I admire that, man. I really like that. I would like that a lot. Alright, guys. Well, folks, I'm going to wrap things up here, man. I just want to say I really appreciate you guys being a part of this tonight, man. Appreciate you guys all coming on. It's always cool hanging out with you. I feel like we're all just hanging out on the patio here together, having some brewskis, and playing some tunes together. So I've enjoyed answering questions, and you know, I really, again, I appreciate your support. One more question. Anthony just came on here. I want to answer this real quick, guys. Advice about creating original riffs music that do not seem to be influenced by your favorite. That's a very, very powerful question, dude. Is the best thing I can tell you is don't overthink the writing process. Don't overthink it. Because whatever's coming out of you is just coming out naturally, and a lot of times that initial instinct, you can polish things up, that's fine, but you know, a lot of things, we will overthink them and just kind of murder the song. So don't overthink, that's the biggest piece of advice. So guys, I'm gonna head out. Thank you guys so much once again. Hey, Tuesday night, the premiere on my channel with Must Not Kill's Brad Mater, 7 p.m., okay, Eastern Standard Time. Guys, I'll see you then. I hope you have an awesome week. We'll talk soon. Keep it metal.